Alright, fellas, line up. You're about to see the coolest thing you've seen today. Alright. So, I am trying to benchmark this host migration thing, right? So I got my Perl sync, my clone over here. I got two of the same projects. Got a little game going. And now, how I'm benchmarking this is essentially I have my tool, which injects secret fields. So it's fields that are only available on the server for each client. I can say like, okay, I want 500 of these. I inject the fields. It says injected 500 secret fields into that script. And it actually does. So it automatically puts a shit ton of fields in the script over here, which will be in the scripts folder, of course. I guess I'll have it open actually. Okay, so and if you see up here, oh, this is the wrong script. If you see, where is it? Up here. There's a lot of stuff generated here. Now, why do I need this and not just the list, you may ask? Well, I'm adding migration data. So whenever the host leaves and it's a server-side information, it's sent to a co-host through this add migration data method, which is persistent, and uses reflection to get the same component, the same player, the same field, and then the variable that's actually in there to set it back to the right value. And I'm trying to benchmark this, right? But I made it obviously so if you send 100 times the same variable, it doesn't get 100 calls, it just gets one of the updated variable, right? So I cannot just set the same variable 100 times for my benchmarking. I need to get 100 different variables. Now, of course, I could copy paste this, but if I want to do 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000, it's going to get really ugly really fast. So I made this method, which goes for every client. There's a little for loop, and it pretty much just sets the field name that we just generated up here. So I generated 500 of those things. I go into my benchmark manager, and I set it to 500. I say, okay, I want 500 of the server data. Now this number can be whatever. It's the client data. Not really relevant right now. For example, I'll do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1 million, so 1 gigabyte of client byte, which is going to be a lot. But then when this is set, I go back into my editor, it compiles, and then when I run this, and I actually do the host migration, it will automatically save this to a CSV file where all my data will be stored. So now I'm currently running on KCP Transport, which is a reliable UDP. I play the game, I'm the red cube, this guy's the blue cube. If I press X, it sets a lot of data. Now I removed the debug.logs for the 500 of them, but there's usually a lot of logs here. And then when I press sync, it says receiving migration data list, successfully overridden the migration data. Cool. So now when I stop the host here, this client becomes the host automatically. Gets his color, his position back, and then when I join back in here, it's back in here as well. And now that went really fast, right? Well, it just synced 1 million items, 1 million bytes. It just synced a whole gigabyte of data, and it only took 1.5 seconds. Over here, it took, where is it? Did I already lose it? 1.52 seconds, right. Now the server-side information that I stored on the server before the server got removed is now set to the co-host, which is now this host, the right host. If I press retrieve data, if I scroll all the way down, it took 1.9 seconds. Okay, so for 500, 1.9 seconds, not that bad. If I, for example, get some new data, I press X again, I press sync data, stop host, this client becomes a new host, I join back on this client, everything's reset back to normal. If I go retrieve data here, yep, 1.9 seconds again. No, it's not exactly, but okay. Then when we stop this, and we go into our assets folder, there's a new thing here, which is a beautiful little CSV file, which is exactly when I did this, what data I stored, how many bytes it was, and the duration that it took. So 1 million bytes or 1 gigabyte of extra data for client side will take you 1.52 seconds. If I average this out, it's going to be like 1.5. Or 500 for the server side is going to be about 0.19. So now I'm going to be scaling these numbers up. I'm going to collect a lot of data, and I'm going to average it out, make a nice little graph. Cool. Thanks for watching.